I pozdrav drugari, dobrodošli u novi video. Danas na stolu imamo box, ili ti kutiju, ili ti unutra bi trebalo da budu dve RTX 3080, a to ćemo upravo i da proverimo. Dakle, uzimamo nešto čime bismo mogli odmah da otkutijamo te 3080, ako su unutra. Paket stiže iz Veternika. Dakle, član se raspitivao oko usluge, kako šta. Mislim da je primarno pitanje i o tome nikada nismo govorili, tako da ćemo o tome sada malo da razgovaramo. Jeste da ga je interesovalo nakon remonta, odnosno nakon zamene pasta i padova, koliko to može otprilike da traje. Pa uzmite ovako, kartice koje trenutno otvaramo su najverovatnije stare između 3 i 4 godine i verovatno svi materijali su unutra fabrički i najverovatnije su kartice jedan period rudarile, što više nakon ovoga neće raditi, već će se koristiti u neke svrhe gaminga, ne znam, nekog 3D modelinga, editovanja i tako dalje. Ako uzmete u obzir da su one radile 3-4 godine u onako malo težim uslovima i da nije bilo nekih većih problema, sad vlasnik je konkretno pitao da li će izdržati 2 godine nakon zamene paste i padova, da li će ti materijali izdržati 2 godine. U teoriji, obzirom da neće više biti korišteno za rigove, po meni mislim da može bez problema jedno 4-5 godina to da sve na kartici stoji, ako se koristi znači u normalnim uslovima, stoji u normalnom računaru koji je provetren, ne radi 24/7, recimo 8 sati dnevno se koristi, po meni jedno 4 godine sigurno može to da izdrži. Zato što materijali koji se stavljaju su upgrade u odnosu na fabrički materijal, znači pasta je bolja, padovi su kvalitetniji i jednostavno, obzirom da je ovo izdržalo 4 godine, u nekim, da kažemo, težim uslovima, u nekim idealnim uslovima, isto 4 godine ne bi trebalo da bude problem. Tako da vadimo kartice. Znači kartice su tu u originalnoj embalaži. Vidimo šta se događa. Naknadno nam je javljeno da proverimo u kakvom su stanju ventilatori, ako neki ventilator zeza da se zameni, doduše ja mislim da ove nemam, ali svakako ćemo baciti pogled. Dakle, u pitanju je PALIT 3080 Gaming Pro. Deluju dosta prašnjavo, pogotovo oko ventilatora, zato što oni trebaju da budu prozirno Vram, ovde onako baš skoro su ocrnjeli i backplate je malo se prosvetljio. Ili je takav fabrički, ne mogu se setim da li malo tamniji, da li više vuče na sivu, ili je ipak brown boje fabrički. To nije neki problem. Vidi se po stikerima da ne bi trebalo da je otvorena, imamo ovdje jedan i ovdje jedan. E sad to ćemo naknadno da utvrdimo nakon što se kartica otvori. I otvoramo drugu karticu. Treba obe da se urade. Tako da šta radimo na jednoj, radimo i na drugoj. I to je to. Ali prvo ćemo testirati makar jednu, čisto da vidimo šta se događa. Ovdje vidim da su otpali stikeri, ne znam zašto. Da li je toplote verovatno, pa kako je stajala ovako. Ne samo sklizno. Pod rukom ovi ventilatori deluju dobro. Solidno se vrte bez otpora. Evo i ova, isto stanje, verovatno radilo istoj mašini. Tako da, eto, odmah ćemo se baciti i na, u stvari da moramo da ubacimo jedno da testiramo. Idemo prvo da testiramo karticu, pa ćemo krenuti da ih otvaramo. Let's just get the GPU and put it in the system and see what's going on. What's wrong with this one? Whatever happens with the first one is probably the thing with the second one as well. Plug in the PCI, 2 8 pins, my guy. Bapete, to je to. VGA. I VGA, powering VGA. Nice. Samo evo ga, top. And plug in display port, just to make sure we get some picture if we get any. All around, bam. Should work any moment. Sounds okay, no strange noises, no cracking from the fans. Only fans. No rattling, no cracking. Sounds good. No, let's see. Did the PC just restart on its own? Don't know. Sounds like you did. No picture still. PC actually shut down itself on its own. That's new, and usually happens pretty much never. Why is that the case though? Let's see. Is it in the protect mode or something? So it started booting, then just okay. Now we have mouse and keyboard, and we have a picture. Don't know why we had a protection mode on and why the system just shut down itself on its own. And okay, we are into Windows 11. Cool. Let me get a sip of coffee. Cheers up, buddy. Okay, the driver's on as well. Pretty good, pretty fast. Okay, let's open the GPUs, see what happens, and let's open the Heaven too. Okay, 3080, 10 gigabytes versions. Let's see what's with the temperatures and window mode on as well. See what happens. How much the hotspot is running away from the core. Well, it's almost around 20C, 15 to 20C. But nothing really crazy going on from as far as I can tell. Looks good. I'm gonna bring up the second one as well. I thought about just testing the one and see what's going on, like how it behaves, but I don't know, looks pretty decent. Oh, okay, it's not decent. Hotspot is around 100C, 104, full fan speed, 104. 80C, yep, 3000 RPM. We should shut down this one. This one is obviously having thermal problems with the pastes and the pads. Probably shut down that one. And let's see what's going on with the second one as well, just to make sure that the second one is working, so that we don't end up having to pay the customer the GPU, because people tend to send non-working GPUs and then they brag about how we maybe broke it or something, and so that we can, you know, protect ourselves from those things, we have to record everything. So that'll be the first one. Just give me a second. This one appears to be open or something, because I can feel some kind of a flexing here with a bracket. I don't know, like maybe it was open before or something. It shouldn't flex like this that much. Maybe somebody forgot to tie down the screws or something, but anyways, let's proceed. Okay, we should get that angle instead. It's a little bit difficult with this ring lights that have the phone stands of some sort. Those are not really fixed. Okay, let's plug in the PSU cables. There we go, and let's plug in the display ports too. Fingers crossed it will boot. Let's see what's happening with this one. You got a picture. Should work as well. Now you're wondering why would I like just switch to English mid conversation and mid video, or at the beginning of the video. I was thinking about, should I like switch to English? Should I switch? Should I stay on Serbian? I really want to practice my English a little bit because I'm getting rusty. I'm not streaming anymore because of the forearms and the injury that I have already like 6 years. So I was already thinking to switch to English because I got like a lot of requests, and a lot of people from the stream that we used to play Battlefield asked me like, can you like record videos on English? And I was thinking about it like previous year, and I keep forgetting and I keep forgetting. And last video when I started with a 3080 from Asus, right? I wanted like to try English and I forgot it. And I started again in Serbian now and I forgot it. But anyways, that's why I just switched mid video or at the beginning of the video. And I'm gonna try to continue this way, because with by doing so, right, we may be able to help more people. Okay, this hotspot is just going nuts, like ADC or something immediately. I don't know if you can tell, but this is crazy. Instant 86, 85, 86C. So technically, like, if we can like learn some English better, you know, we can show to more people how to change pads and paste and things like that for some specific cards, especially because the used cell market is like crazy with the amount of these, you know, and many people can, you know, learn how to do it on their own. Because we will provide full video of before and after, so that you can make sure that video you watched literally like shows you how can you do it yourself, you know, not just reading some forums where you read some dimensions and some stuff, and when you try it yourself it just doesn't work, you know. Happens to me all the time, so I have to do it. Okay, this is like leaf blower or something, and we should shut it down. That simple. Okay, we are opening both of them. Alright, so since we don't have such a large area to work on, we're just gonna try to use these boxes as our, you know, little working space. Just let me get screwdrivers and stuff of that sort, so we can start opening things around. Alright, I'm gonna get this just for the screws, and I'm just gonna remove this one. I'm not gonna need it, and this thing that is under stuck. Alright, we'll start opening. Need to open the... I'm gonna record for the most part just one of these, and technically if you have a couple of these, right, whatever you do to one, you just do it to the second one as well too. It's very simple, not that hard. So let me try to figure it out how to put the cable so it doesn't annoy me, because it's literally like floating in front of the phone. It's recording with the phone, right? Okay, so I kind of like to start with this for the main one. Very easy, no tension, because it's still not opened. What people tend to do when they do it on their own, they just tighten the screws like too much. So there's no really specific need to do that. If you do everything correctly, you should give it some amount of pressure, but not like really doesn't need to destroy the screw heads. Okay, that should go out. Now we have like, I don't know, a tons of this. We might need a little one, smaller one, I think, for this, for the backplate. Oh, okay, that's the larger one. Because I tend to flip them all the time, so I thought that this one was the larger one. One of those don't go in. Oh, well, that one went to oblivion, but don't worry, we will find it. So what we do, like, we open the GPUs completely, like we disassemble completely the heatsink from the GPU, the shroud, everything, you know, because we clean it all the way from the bottom, the fans and everything. And we change the paste, we change the pads, and afterwards we test it again, and if it's good, that's pretty much it. Because most of the people like here don't really want to bother with it, and again, like, you have that responsibility not to screw up the things, and people maybe think that they will, you know, destroy it or something. I mean, it's not really hard, but when you've never done it before, you might think it's very difficult. So people tend to send it to someone who wants to bother around with these things. Technically, like, this is like kind of boring. It's not hard, but it's just boring, you know. And not many people want to, you know, spend time with things that are not fun. It might be fun once, but when you have to do it like today, like 10 times or something, you just lose the will to live, you know. It's not really that much fun. Like, maybe it's gonna be interesting to do like one of these if you never done it before, but if you did and you know that they can be a little bit pain in the ass, then you might not be interested in such actions. I think we have pads on the back side as well. Backplate is not really letting go yet. There we go. So we have this green one. Those are pretty dry. This is the critical, I think, 20 watts per meter Kelvin. Those are pretty good when they're functioning. Then we get this one that we removed the screws before. There we go. That almost ran away. That almost ran away. And we have a couple of these on the back. I think we just need to remove these two, the larger ones. Other three little ones not really important. They don't hold to anything, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Don't remember when did I work on this before, but I did. I think I did TIs like maybe 2 months ago or something, or a month and a half. Okay, I think this should be free. I just need a larger, still little but larger screwdriver, flat one, just so that I can like make a little bit of the pressure. Okay, we literally removed each one of them. Okay, cool. I just need to figure it out, man. Okay, it's slowly letting go. You don't want it to bend too much. To some extent it's fine, but you don't want to break the board, you know. Okay, and now we have two fans here. Two fan headers, connectors, whatever you want to name them. A little bit hard to pull them, but I have a plan. So we are going to get a little flat one so we can work with. The paste is dry AF, honestly, like looks pretty tired. Okay, so we have two of these. It's that simple. There we go, one is loose. The second one is not really cooperating, but it will. There we go. And we have one, I guess, RGB. The little one bottom, didn't see that one. And there you have it, the board is free. That's what we got. The paste looks as it looks. I don't know if you can tell, but that is pretty dry. Now the pads though, dry. This could do just a little bit more. Not much longer, but could do a little bit more. These are tired. This is probably like, what is this? This is the VRM, this is the chokes. So the chokes don't heat up as the VRM does, as much as the VRM does, if I'm not mistaken, right? Now I need a little bit of the paper so that I can start removing this in the correct order. And I need to find the right sizes on the net, what they say, see what they say, and then start working on it. Now we're gonna need some knives here, flat knives, scalpers, whatever you name it on English. You have to work a little bit, as I mentioned. I'm getting rusty with it. So start removing memory, I guess, first. As I mentioned, this could work a little bit longer, not much, but still would be usable to some extent, the memory one. I guess whoever minded this knew how to set up the memory, not to like overheat it, but didn't know how to set up the power delivery. So I guess the GPU was working like full TDP all the time, and that's why the pads, the more quality pads on the side went out faster. That's the only way how it makes sense. So somebody didn't really like bother with power limits, just bothered with memory clocks, and probably the fans were working 100% all the time, so the memory was not getting beaten up that much. But this GPU can pull up, I don't know how much, 340, 320 watts, so therefore that's why the pads for the power just went out. All right. So as I mentioned, whatever I do to the first one, I'm gonna do to the second one as well, just in a brief moment. I'm not gonna really like record all of it. I'm gonna make a pause, do the job, show up how everything is on the side, open up and things. But I'm not gonna bother like duplicating the content. Okay, this is out as well. This looks like a 1 mil. The little ones looks also like the 1 mil, and this one looks like 1.5 mil. Just from the eye, you know. Could be that I'm wrong, but that's just how it looks to me. We'll see. And the backside looks like 2 mil or 2.5, but maybe 2 mil. And there is a little one, don't forget this one. Don't know what this one calls, maybe the memory controller or whatever. There you go, that little one, don't forget it. It's usually on the sides. It's probably important because they put it there. Okay, now you have additional 4 screws here in the, I call this midplate, honestly, like this is some kind of a midplate. Before the major heatsink, you have that little one as well that just cools the VRM, right? Like the GPU and the memory is connected to the main one, and the little things like it goes here on this midplate. So the midplate is doing that work. It's not like the Asus where they put the VRM nearby the VRAM on the same heatsink. I remember that tough series. You have like a little heatsink, and then on the left side you have a heat pipe that goes through the some sort of VRM, some sort of power delivery, and it's sharing that heatsink with the memory. And then you wonder like, oh, why the memory is getting hot even though I upgraded the pads and everything? Well, that's why. Somebody thought that makes sense. I mean, they work though, so can't really say anything. Okay, those are out, and there you have your midplate. You have to remove this one and that one. On the other side, you usually don't have anything, it's just dirty, and that's why we are removing it, just so we can clean it up. Now we can get to the heatsink. Okay, let's see. Alright, fair enough, that's how it looks. Also dirty, a lot of dust, and this is our fans. This is how they look from the bottom. That's the idea, so that we can like really clean them up, and that's the only way to do it properly, just by getting all the way down to this level. So that's pretty much it. Okay, I'm gonna put this here, and let's remove the back plate parts as well. Those are probably one of the best that I've seen, like the green one, the critical one, but I never had a chance to really get them. You can get them from the Amazon, but they don't really usually ship to Serbia, or if they do, then you have like some sort of taxes and it's excessive, like costs like a lot, and I don't think that the performances would make up for it. Maybe if you're like doing it for your own GPU, then alright, fine, you know, like you're not gonna swap it for a couple of years, you're good. But if you're doing it for someone else and you want to do it like as some kind of a work, it's really hard to justify the price, and it's really hard to set up the price for the customer like that. They want to really get it. It's just too much expensive, a lot of parts you need. And if the GPU is like some crazy design, like, I don't know, like 4 sizes with 4 different thicknesses, right? How you're gonna do it? It's like you need like €100 just in pads alone. It makes no sense. And nobody really wants to pay for these things, like about 25-30 euros. Pretty much it. There we go. I'm just gonna make a pause here to do the very same thing to the other one, and I'm gonna go out to clean all this mess, and I'm gonna come back and we're gonna start cutting new parts so we can finish the GPUs and retest them again.
One eternity later.
Oh well, that took a couple of hours of cleaning, and since it's Sunday, I just had to take some rest as well. Kinda got bored, honestly, I'm gonna say, but the job needs to get done, so we continue. It was actually pretty hard to get this to this level because they were like so dirty, and the fans underneath and everything. You know, I had to take everything apart. It took a couple of hours just to do all of this, like around 2 hours to clean them properly, or to some extent, right? To look decent, and now I can continue. So I've seen information on the net, right, about the pad sizes. So it says VRAM front 2 mils and VRAM back 1.5, 1.5, right? So the front should be 2 mils and the back should be 1.5, and the sides, the VRM and the chokes, should be 1 mil. Now, I don't know if that information is true, right? But we're gonna check it out in a matter of seconds. I'm just gonna take one cardboard, I guess, and I'm gonna take a couple of these things so that we may proceed, right? Okay, so let's go and see if that checks out and see what we need. I'm gonna need the pads, that's obviously, I think. Just need to figure it out, where did I put them. Okay, they're here, see? Need pads, and let's go. I'm not using this thing for, I usually use this when I do one GPU, but since we're doing two of these, did a little bit of management in different way, so not doing it as I usually do. Okay, let me find, dude, I really need to sit, but it's so difficult because I have I don't know how it's called. It's difficult not using English every day, so need to remember a lot of words. So since I don't want to ruin the floor, I'm still like not using the chair to move around. I need to find and open a new one, 2 mils. I don't trust these though. We just have a little bit of the leftovers, and I don't know if it's I mean, I know it's good, but I just don't want to mess around, and we just get straight a new package that should do it right. Because we have to do 2 GPUs, so I don't want to bother. Here we go, I'll take that. Let me find marker or pen, whatever you want to call it, so that we can do the measurements. So for the memory, we have 4 modules on this side. It's like a 5 by 1.5, right, as usual. 5 and 1.5. All right, let me do it from the eye, 1.5, and let's do a 5. Nothing to worry about. Source, trust me, bro. Some of these components don't even like need the amount of the cooling they're getting, but hey, they're still getting it. We previously cleaned the heat sinks, cleaned the memory. You can use the, I don't know how they call it, we call it medical petrol, or the alcohol, 100%, 98.99 isopropyl alcohol, that's how we call it. Anyways, let me separate this one from that. I want it perfect, man, like I don't want rough edges. Okay, there we go, that goes there. I don't want to go like full raw videos like before. A lot of content to swallow at once. It's just not fun. Now we have 4 separated modules, or 2 on this and 2 on that one. I'm gonna make it's like 1.5, right, and another 1. That should be the case. Have a little bit dirt on this one now, I see, under the battery light. Couldn't see that outside on daylight because it was like almost evening. I got lazy midday and had to do some other things and rest a little bit, and now I came back to it and I see this little piece of dirt. So yeah, this is pretty much our front side for both of them. That's how they look. That's how they should look though. If we're not mistaken with the thickness of the memory, that should do it. Now let's go for the chokes and for the VRM, right? Those should be 1 mil. Again, if the internet doesn't lie, but you know internet, you problems all the time with the measurements and everything. Okay, sign me up. And we have a need for how many of these? 2 of these, and then a little bit shorter, right? All right, let's see. 82 mil. That should do it. So that should be your VRM on the second GPU. So it's 82 by half mil. There we go. And that looks beautiful to me. Now we need something smaller here for this piece. It should be like around 70 something. Looks like 75-ish. And again, it's half mil. Because people don't really follow up specs, especially the miners. When the mining was like a thing, people were just putting whatever, you know, whatever they had at hand, because they just worried about the memory. And now if you put a little bit, you know, thicker parts on the on the GPU, right? It's not really going to matter during the mining, but as soon as you launch something that pulls like a lot of watts and your GPU works 100%, you'll have an issues with the hotspot and everything. So now I have to figure it out to make 7.5, 4 of these. We need 4 of these, and we are done with the front. I think we might be done with the front, but we still need to figure it out for the back side. Though it's not really that much important because you don't have the chips on the back side. It's not 3090. Nothing to worry about, but still. So that one should be also, I think, 1 mil. If it's, yeah, it's a little bit up, so it should be 1 mil. So let's do, it's just a little square. There we go. That should be done. I think we did the front side completely, and it should be pretty much it. Now I also want to focus on the back side, and I also want to put a paste. I want to forget that. Where is the little guy? There we go, the little square. I was thinking about putting the PTM 7950, but the thing is, I'm not really sure if we do the measurements perfectly because of the internet information, right? So I don't want to waste the material on something that I'm not sure, right? I don't do this much, this particular model, so if we screwed up, I don't want it to be expensive screw up, right? So that's the deal. Like we wanna do it properly, but we don't want it to be like mega expensive on both ends, right? For me and the customer, but the customer obviously wouldn't be paying for my screw ups, right? So I am here to make sure that we all get, you know, satisfied on both ends. So I have to be focused, and okay, now one should be pretty good. There we go. That's how that should look like. Something like that. This is alrighty, honestly. It's not perfect, right? And you have, obviously, like for the VRAM, here and there, you have the pads, so those align with these little ones when you screw the heatsink back. Do we have a plan? From that side should be easy to approach. This is also connected properly. There we go. One side, other side, and now the RGB as the last one. I think this is pretty much it. So that one is quite done. Just need to figure it out how to hide these cables. There we go. Work them around a little bit. They should stay. So pretty much we just have to figure out the back side as well. Let me see. 5 and 1.5. This should be 5, around 5. And it's like straight 5, which is pretty good. So we just need to cut like 4 of them. 4 of them. We can do it straight from the eye. Around 1.5. They will usually splash because of the pressure from the back plate, from all the screws and everything. So then it have to be like a perfect size and everything, because they will go all over the place anyways because of the pressure, as you can see from the green ones from the previous, how they look like anyway. So, and this should be a little bit more, which is all right. Again, this goes there between the screws. Now there we go. This goes there as well. Now we need a 3 mil, but again, I need to open the new box because I don't think we have enough there. So I'm not going to bother even, honestly. Just let me get new piece. So straight 7 like that, and 3.5 is where? Here. Cool. So first I'm gonna do the split, and then we are doing the, oh, I think we kill it here in the corner a bit, like a mil, a half mil. That's all right. Should be pretty good. Anyways, those should be the same, 1.5 mil as well. They're probably good. They're not cooling anything of importantness, but they, you know, I think I already have one square here, so let's use that one and just make another one. Right, that's the back side. I think we're done here. I just hope that everything aligns properly. And as I mentioned, we are aiming at 76C on the core. Hotspot should be no more than plus 13. And the memory, I don't know, these things tend to get hot around 90, 92C. Really depends, but I expect something around 92C. If it lands somewhere there, I call it a day, honestly. If it's a little bit lower, that's amazing, but again, memory on this tends to get hot. Depends on the parts quality. These are okay-ish, you know, somewhere in the middle. Not the perfect, like the best, but it doesn't break the budget either, you know. It was a long day. It was a long day, but it's done. Okay, that is over. We did both GPUs. Now we need to find a screw. This is the old pads. Let me show you how they look like, just for the sake, you know. That's how it looks like. So I think that the memory pads still had a little bit of the life left. If you can see, they're sticky, but everything else is kind of GG, you know, toast. So somebody was not really overclocking the memory that high, but was killing the power delivery. All right, let me make a pause here and let's see the temperatures. Be right back. Alrighty, let's put the GPU and see what happens. Do we have a success or we have a fail? Time will tell. And the time is now. Plug in the connectors for the power supply, so we actually can look and get the picture from the display port. Nice. Turn up or on, however you like it. Fans are spinning, RGB is working. That's good. Nothing is dead. That's the most important. Now, let's see what happens with the temperatures. Do we have a fix? Or are we stuck? Let's see. It looks pretty good to me, man. Around 70C on the core, around 85 on the hotspot, and around 8688 on the memory. Looks pretty good, man. Anyways, let's turn the GPUs and let's get in heaven. I mean, just you need in heaven, you know, don't have in heaven. We're not ready yet for that. We should not go there yet. If we get around the same results, just around the same, and I think we have around the same 14C difference, maybe a little bit less, 13 and a half. This is plus minus 1C margin of error. Honestly, I think we did a good job on both of them. We ain't touching any. This is pretty much around the same. So I see the GPU is still working, which is amazing. So we have 68, 69C, around the same, a little bit cooler hotspot, 82C, not 84, 85. And the memory is around about the same mark, 86C, around 45% of the fan speed. So I think we have pretty much about the same results, close, plus minus 1C, 2C maximum, which is pretty good. I'm happy and satisfied. Both of these GPUs perform amazing. I like what I see, and we don't have to open them up again, which is the most important thing. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope you got some information you might need it, because you probably ended up here just by typing about the same GPU and the Thermalpads change that you are probably about to do, so I assume that you'll end it up on the channel that way. Anyways, I hope that I'll see you in the future. So I'll see you in the next one, and I hope you have a great day. See ya!